Hi friends, hope my videos are helping you out in understanding the HVAC in a different way altogether, and it is adding a value to your system and operations, whatever you are managing at your areas. So in this particular session, which is the ninth session in the Hydronic series, we are going to discuss about what all are the balancing considerations somebody really need to understand in central air conditioning plant. So plays a very critical role in water balancing or even air balancing. In this particular video, we are going to talk about the hydronic balancing. Uh, if system has not been hydronically balanced, it's not going to perform efficiently in terms of maintaining the temperature. Parallelly, also it's going to consume more energy. So what all are the strategies somebody can really opt and can help in terms of understanding what is the way out for balancing of hydronic system. So let's start and discuss. So the first point is if people are having no balancing wall in the equipment itself, it is only relying on the two-way control wall. And this two-way control wall is not balancing actually. It's just two-way control wall is only controlling the flow, regulating the flow actually. So if it is the case, then how it is going to impact? So this is one of the strategies. Second is the manual balancing wall. The manual balancing wall in the headers, risers, or the AHUs, and if manual balancing wall is there, how it is being calibrated and balanced. So it is also need to be ensured that it has been calibrated for the given flow, even if it is installed at the AHU level, installed at the riser level. If there are three blocks, three buildings, it has been installed at the three levels. If my EHU is already integrated with the pressure independent balancing control wall, in that particular case, putting a manual balancing wall in the riser is not going to be required, which people put it. I will make a separate video on that particular dimension for the benefit of you all. The third is earlier case wherein people were using the automatic flow limiting wall. The limiting wall was having the pressure drop. Actually, it was pressure in dependent wall. It is not pressure independent wall. So better to use the pressure independent balancing control wall instead of AFLV, automatic flow limiting wall. The reverse return, I think discussed in my previous video also. Here I am going to touch upon how reverse return also helps in balancing the water flow in the HVAC plant room and the system. The oversized main piping, how it really add a value, or it is deperforming the system actually, or adversely performing this adversely impacting the performance of the system, or undersized branch or the piping actually. If somebody is having undersized branch or the piping to balance the flow, it's instead of putting the wall, can I reduce the pipe size to ensure that minimum flow is going to be there to the branch or the HU or any particular zone of the building. Undersized control wall, how undersized control walls also plays a critical role if it is not properly designed. So no balancing if it is only a two-way control wall. So there is a HU, actually there's a coil, and in the coil, if only two-way control wall has been provided, it's only going to regulate the flow between uh, uh, 0 to 100, but it's not going to balance it. So with respect to the temperature need and the flow requirements, not going to be able to better control, and how it is impacting will show you in the subsequent part of the video. If there is an air handling unit there's a supply when the strainer is there, and in the return there is a manual balancing wall. It has to be preset for the required flow, which is going to be required for the uh, performance of the air handling unit. So it's a manually somebody really need to regulate it once, and then the two-way control wall will regulate the flow. So two-way control wall along with the manual balancing wall can add a great value, and it also need to be so here is its inverter inlet and here is the outlet. So this is the performance chart actually, how these walls need to be preset or the set for the given flow requirement based on the kV values. I was talking about on the same, the pressure independent balancing control valves. So pressure independent balancing control valves eliminate the need of manual balancing valve. It automatically balance the flow which is going to be required to the AHU, and it also control based on the demand. So where in mechanical or manual balancing valve additional is not going to be required. I will be going to make a separate video on the performance characteristics and how it really operates and add a value to the system. I will make a separate video on that. Reverse return, I had already discussed about, wherein there is a pump and pumping water to the chiller, and then chill water which is at 7 degree is going to the first AHU, second and the third, and return of every AHU is going to connected to a common riser, and it is coming back. So if you will see, in reverse return system, all parallel paths are equal, and this is how it is ensuring. If you will see the first path, which is this one, so there is a distance of 40 feet and then 10 feet and another 40 feet, and this is going to be the common actually. So the 30 feet. So if you will see, the total path is talking about 150 feet in length. The second path is also 150 feet, and the third path, which is also 150 feet. So the reverse return methodology was in the earlier days was being utilized to balance the flow into every FCO or the air handling unit level. Now pressure independent balancing valve, which I had already mentioned, is a great methodology to control the flow. Undersize branch and piping or the control valves. So let me share with you the pros and the cons of the undersized piping and the control valves. Let's first discuss about the undersized branches or the piping. It increases the pressure drop, and if there is a more pressure drop or increase in the pressure drop, it's going to add energy loss. The second, it reduces the flow rate. The third, increase in the energy consumption, which I had already mentioned. Talking about the control valves, if it is undersized, how it's going to impact on my system performance? It's going to limit the flow control. It's not going to perform the given flow requirement for the efficient performance of the air handling unit or the fan coil unit. It's going to be inadequate water balancing to the system, which is going to add more wear and tear, and excessive pressure drop and the flow velocities leading to the reduced life span of the wall actually. So I need to ensure. So what is the impact on the water balancing because of undersized branch and control walls? It's going to be difficult to achieve the water balancing. So uneven cooling or the disruption is going to be there in terms of performance of the HVAC and our system. The second, it's going to increase the system instability. Poor balancing is going to lead poor performance in maintaining the temperature fluctuations, and ultimately is going to also add on the more energy consumption at the system level. So to showcase you one of the chart actually wherein all these strategies are mentioned over here. So if you will see the no balancing, manual balancing, the pressure limiting wall, instead of that pressure independent wall I had already mentioned, reverse return, oversized main piping, undersized branches, and the control walls. So here you will see actually that there is a maximum pressure drop. Even the pressure strategies like manual balancing wall or the limiting wall or the reverse return, these are the three methodology which ensures actually I'm getting 100% of the flow balance actually at the maximum flow and the minimum flow. But there is an increase in the pressure drop actually. So the pressure drop at the chill water you can see for all of these dimensions. So that's how the pressure independent balancing walls taking an edge in ensuring the efficient operation of the chiller plant. So hope this video is going to add a great value to your understanding and the projects on which you are working or going to contribute for. Thank you for subscribing my channel and joining today. If you do have anything on your current operations and the project, you can put me a question or your comment in the chat box. I will be happy to respond on that. Thank you. See you in our next video.